Hello and welcome to the CCM Course Level 2 Part 1. So in this series we will be covering this character. So it's the part 1, so we will be covering the best mesh of this character. So let's get started. So first of all, select all and delete it, and one to go to the front view, and the first step is to set up the reference. So I'm just dragging my reference image from my file explorer to this scene right here, and I will put a link in the description for this reference image so you can check it from that. I will just GY to move it here. As you can see, I have the screencast keys on, so you can see all the keys that I pressed here. So if I just messed up saying any key, you can check it from here. So I just move it here, and now I have to go to the right side view and dragging up the right side view. So it's here. I will just move it here to the exact center. Also going to the front and make sure that our this reference is also in the center. Now I will just move this one to the X direction a little. So here we will be making our character, so we have some space for it. And now the next step is to make sure that our reference is in the center and it's aligned to each other. So for that, I'm just pressing Shift A and adding a cube and going to the front view and going to the wireframe and just move it up here, scale it like this, moving up here, and as you can see, this is now exactly, my cube is exactly in the center, so I can now align my reference image this way. So I will be just adding a loop cut in the middle, and now as you can see, my character need to a little be aligned to the line that I have in the cube. Okay, so now if I just go to the right side view, I have to select the cube, go to the edit mode, control R, and add a loop here, and I have to just match this reference to this line also. So you don't have to just match it all, because the human figure is like a little like curved and it's a little random shape. So for that we have to just make sure that it match with this line with the feet. So I think it's fine. The next thing we have to do is we have to make sure that both reference have exactly same size. So for me, if I just go to the front, it's going to like this, and from the side view, this one is fine, but as you can see, the shoes is a little down. We can ignore this because our reference is a little in the orthographic view, so that's why maybe we have some problem. So we have to ignore this thing, and let's get started now. The next step. So the next step is from which object you have to start. So you can start from any object from here. It's completely your choice, but if you want to follow along, then follow with me, because I'm choosing the cylinder because it's make it a little easy to work with. So I have to just choose the 10 vertex to make it a little low poly and to easily match it with everything. So I'm just moving it up, scale it down, and don't move the vertex, don't move your cube, your object in this direction, these two direction, like X direction, because we have to always make sure that our character is in the center, so we don't have to mess up this center. Okay, so now go to the edit mode and let's focus on the big chest, but before that, go to the side view and just move it up here, SY, and scale it a little toward the Y direction. Okay, so now go to the edit mode, control R, and adding the loop here, and scale it with Y, with X direction, sorry, and that's how we can match. And this one also X direction, move it a little toward the down direction to just make sure that it's aligned with the shoulders. And we can also do this one. Okay, remember one thing, that we are matching this to the clothes now, but we don't have to that, so I will just make this like this, so it matches with direct the body, not with the clothes. So it's something like this. Now going to the side view, and now I have to just scale it with Y, something like this, with Y like this. Okay, and now this one same goes with this one, so I have to just move it a little toward this direction. And yeah, I have to add a lot of loops, but for now it's just fine. What I need to do is right click and making it shade smooth. Now going to the edit mode again, going to face selection and deleting these face and these two faces. Okay, the next thing is we have to also make it mirrors, so I will just delete this side and remain this side, so I can now apply a mirror modifier. So as you can see, it will be mirror. And also make sure that you turn on the clipping, because it won't split. If you don't do this thing, it will just split this. Okay, so this is fine. Now what we can do is to grow this. So I will just select this one. As you can see, we choose the 10 vertex of the cylinder, so that's why we have this face like here. And what I can do is I can extrude this face, but before that let's just scale it a little toward the y direction, and now we can scale it out. Okay, so E extrude, and I will just put it somewhere around here, and control R and adding the loop here, going to the right side view. And now we can just simply move this one here, this one here, somewhere around here. Okay, that's correct. Now we have to delete this face because we don't need it, we need it as a whole. And now we can start extruding it toward the up direction. So I will just select all and scale it with the Z direction a little like this. Extrude E, and just make sure that we get some equal spacing, something like this. Okay, same going with the side view, so we have to match it with the side view, something like this. And Z and SZ and 0 to just straight it and rotate it. Now extrude it here. Okay, one more thing that I need to do is to scale it with the Y, or just move it toward the Y direction, toward the X direction. And this one also adding a loop here, and make sure that it goes something like this, but it'll be fine. Okay, as you can see, this place is not smooth, so I will just right click and shade smooth to just update the smooth vertex. Okay, so the next step is to going up here, and also we can do some changes here. So I would just leave to that to just check that my head is a good scaling or not. So I will be shift right click, making out up the cursor here, going to the 3D cursor, rotating it. As you can see, it's pretty much huge, so you have to just move it toward the X direction. Now let's just check it, because it's just the arm. Okay, this kind of size is good. Okay, so now we have to add the one loop here for this joint, and adding some loops here to make this shape here, the shoulder shape. I will be just adding 2 loops. And now what I can do is just I can move this one here, this one a little to the up, this one here. I can just move this one a little down, and this one a little something like this. Also I can do is I can make this one a little down, so it will make a little hand shape. So move this one down and make this one toward the medium point. Something like this would be fine. Okay, also just make sure that this one, scale it a little, this one, so we don't miss anything. I think I accidentally subdivided this thing, so let me just dissolve these vertex. If you have just 3 vertex, you can X and dissolve vertex, so get rid of that. Okay, the next step is to grow the hip area, so I'll be just extruding the extrude one time this. And now what I can do is picking up the front 2 vertex and just extrude, and finally we'll be filling up this one F extrude. And from the side view, let's just make this one a little smooth. This thing is fine. And from the front view, what I can do is I can move this one here, and also it's the pant area, so we have to just make it a little up because we are making the body first. And this is how it will cross. As you can see, we can just make this a little around by just moving up the vertex manually like this, so it will help. Also I have to just move this one here, this one a little here, so it's more round. Okay, the next step is to grow up the legs. So I will just select all this loop, extrude, and S Z to scale it a little toward the Z direction, a little more, 0. And now let's just put this one here to make a curve shape. Something like this would be fine. And also, yeah, this is looking good now. Okay, so the next step is to going up to the knees. Let me just select all this and move it toward a little toward the X direction, maybe. Yeah, this one too, this one. Okay, and now this is the knee. So for the knee I'm just making it here, not adding details from now, because I have to just setting up from the side view first. So moving toward the X Y direction, S Y, scale it toward this one, S Y, this one, and yeah, I think this is good. Something like this would be fine. Okay, the next step is to move it toward the X direction, the Z direction, extrude it like this, and yeah, I think that's good. Okay, control or adding a loop here, moving toward here to just make this shape, and this one making it here. Okay, one loop here, and I will just rotate this one here, also this one a little. Okay, so move this thing here, this one a little here to just make the knee shape. This one should be a little toward the outside, this one should be a little toward the inside. As you can see, it's now looking a little like knee. So I think a little more, so I will just move it toward inside. And yeah, I think that's it. That's pretty much good. Okay, up to here I can just double G to just slide this one here, and yeah, this is good. This one should be a little toward the inside, and yeah, this is pretty much good. It's looking like a knee now. Okay, the next step is that let me just finish up the feet. So what I can do is I can select from this side these vertex, and I can E extrude it toward the Z direction, and E extruding toward here, downward here. So just fill up these 4 and these F. Yeah, good. Let me just pull up this one here a little to toward the Y direction. Control or adding a loop here, so we can just make sure that it's smooth a little more. Something like this would be fine. And for the down one, we can just select and S that 0 to just make it straighten, and F to fill that. And also join these with J, so we don't get the weird shading and we get a clean, nice topology. This is good now. Okay, coming up here, I can just add some loops here like this one, making it a little toward the front direction. This one should be also a little toward the front direction because it's the chest area. And yeah, this is pretty much fine now. Okay, now it's time to just model up the hands. So for that, I'm just selecting all with A, H to just hide that, and I have a reference image for that, so I'm going to the front view again, moving up the reference. I will put also the link in the description for this image, so you can download it from that and you can start modeling your hand. So I'm just moving up here and Shift S and cursor to the word origin to just move the cursor here, and now we can just place your reference image something like this. We can model it from this side. So Shift A and adding a cube, scale, and scale it from the point that you want to model. So I think I want to model it from somewhere like this. This would be fine. Yeah, and moving up toward here. So these are the finger areas. One loop here just for the thumb. So first I will extrude up the thumb something like this, rotate, and once more something like this. But there's a problem, if you just rotate it, it's pretty much cube. So what I can do is I can S-Y to scale it on Y, something like this would be fine. And also make sure that to scale this thing a little up so it's not too thin. Okay, again from the front view I can just add a loop here, but we will add this later. Let me just match it with the reference, something like this. Okay, now I will add 3 loops here to get 4 faces. And what I can do is I can select all these faces, but when you simply extrude it, it's all like joined, so we don't need the simple extrusion. What I can do is I can Alt E and make it extrude individual faces, something like this one and this one here. Row this one here, this one here. Okay, one more thing that you need to learn is that our finger is not like straight, these are like a curve shape, so I have to just pull up here, something like this, and this one forward a little down, just like the curve shape. And also I have to add a loop here, one loop in all the fingers. Okay, and the next step is that we can bend our hand a little toward the front direction. So I'm just selecting all the fingers and making my cursor here and just change this toward the cursor and rotate it, something like this. And now control minus to just deselect these vertex and make the cursor here and just rotate it a little. So now our hand is now a little bendy, and the same thing we can do is with this finger. So again, putting up my cursor here and just move it toward this direction. Okay, so what we can do is we can just select these vertex, make it a little toward the Y direction, and also you can just make this one toward the N direction. And now you can just add a subdivision modifier, and again, as you can see, we get a basic shape of that. We have to just select the down one and X to delete all the faces, so we don't need it, we need it as a whole. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You can add one loop at this direction, something like this, just refine that a little more. One loop here at the top, so we get the exact fingers. And yeah, that's it. The additional thing is you can add a loop here to all around and Alt S to just scale it outside. So now if you just apply this thing, it will be a little more smooth, but that's an additional thing. So yeah, okay, so we model our hand and now it's time to join it with the characters. So let me just Alt H and Alt unhide all that, and now just focus on this one and let's just see this thing. Okay, we have 12 vertex here, but the problem is that we have only 6 vertex here, so we have to just make sure that we don't get that vertex, so we can connect it like this. So first we have to just optimize this thing. I'm sorry. Okay, going to the medium point. Okay, rotating this one, going to the top view, side view, sorry, and right click, rotate it 90. Just make sure that it align with this one. And as you can see, there's one more problem that it's like the middle finger, the thumb finger is toward this direction, which is kind of like inward or opposite. So we can just opposite again it S Y and -1 to just flip this thing. So now it's fine. Let me just Control A and apply the rotation and scale, and now we can work further. Okay, so what we can do is we can optimize the thing. So let me just press the slash key, and now we can optimize that. But the thing is that if we just merge this, if I just turn on the auto merge and double G to just slide that and just merge it something like this, it will work. But there is a problem that we create triangles here, and we don't need any triangle in our character because it will make issues in the future. Okay, so the correct method is to remove these but don't get any triangle or n-gon. We get all the quads, so that's the challenge. So let's just start it. Okay, so first I have to just solve this thing, these two edges, and this one, but we will do it later. So first this one, these twos, and these twos, and yeah, we got it. Okay, now what we can do is go into the vertex selection and just here to pick up the knife and click here and here, and now we can join this thing with this one. So as you can see, we get now 3 chords. Okay, so the same thing with this one. So I will picking up the K knife, this one, and this one, and we can join it with these tools. So as you can see, we converted this place, but we get all the chords. That's what we need. And the same thing here, 7 and 9 to just flip the direction, flip the view. And now this one, we can do it in like 2. So that by just learning, you can do these 2, then these 2. Okay, so that's the thing. And now we have to just solve this one. This one is a little different from that we did. So let's just first remove this edge and this edge, and now what we can do is pick this one and click here, this one here, and now we create this. Select these tools, right click, subdivide, and just pop this one vertex here, this one here, and if I just join that, as you can see, what we did is these 3 are also now quads. So the same thing we need here. So it will goes a little again up here, right click, subdivide, move this one here, join this one with this one, and join these twos with J, and yeah, we did it. That's how to remove. Okay, so now again I just remove this thing, and now we can join it. We're ready to join it. Okay, so just scale this thing a little, and now okay, just scale it something with Z only. Yeah, this is fine now. Okay, so now you can go here and turn on the wireframe. So we can see now the wireframe is in the object mode, but we are just seeing the wireframe. Okay, so coming up here toward the snapping tool, so you have to snap these vertex and turning on the vertex and leaving the default setting would be fine. And now what I can do is, if I just move this thing, we can join it with this one. So this one would be this one and this one, and boom, we did it. As you can see, it snapped toward this direction, but these are not filled. So if I just move this thing, it's separated. So just fix this thing now. First select the hand, then select the body, control J to just join that. So it's now one object, but still these vertex are not welded. As you can see, these are separated. So select all M and merge these vertex by distance. So it will automatically remove this thing. And now there is a little problem that it's having weird shading, and it's because of the flip normal. So if I just turn on the face orientation, select all N and flip it, calculate it outside, so it get fixed. Now I can just turn off my face orientation. So this is pretty much good. The next thing is to create the head again. So selecting all the loop, E extrude, scale, and going to the front view, moving toward here, and one more extrude, extrude, rotate. Now so we have to rotate this thing because I'm sorry. Okay, so we can just rotate this thing, move it toward here a little, SY, just scale it here, and yeah, this is now quite good. Okay, extrude. And also seeing it from the front view, it's really important to watch your model from all the angles cause it's in 3D. And if you just watch it from one side, then it will be too hard to just fix what you did. So E extrude toward the Z direction, front view, and let's just pull it more, and this one should be a little toward the center. And see from the side view, extrude and scale. Now for this I have to just fill this thing, so selecting these two, F2, bridge this thing. Okay, F3, and we can just bridge this thing, bridge edge loops. We can also add a cut here in the middle, 1 2 3 4. I think 4 would be fine. And what we can do is we can make this one toward the surface. Okay, just make the factor make the smoothness a little toward this edge. So that's the trick. And now we can just select these all. As you can see, these are not clipped, so I'm just moving toward the X direction like this, and now we can start filling it. So F to fill, these F to fill, and F to fill. Okay, so that was the process how you can make this thing. Now the final thing, we are at the final stages to finishing up our block out. Okay, just moving toward here, X double G, you just slide that, and yeah, this is looking good now. This one should be here, and also as you can see, it's not following our reference. Yeah, this is quite good. Okay, so I'll just align that and just pull it toward the back one. Something like this would be fine, I think. Okay, also from the side view I can just make some changes. So first one would be this one. Okay, this one should be here, here, and this one here, and this one here. So I'm just straightening it these objects, so just scaling it with Z, something like this would be fine. Okay, for here we can just move this toward the outer direction, and okay, I think this is pretty much good. The final thing I would like to add subdivision modifier and see how it looks with the subdivision modifier. So it's looking quite good. Yeah. At some places it's making a little problem, so I can solve this thing. I'm just selecting this one and coming up in the items be increased, so just to make sure that it don't smoothen something like this, so just scaling this one, these tools, and yeah, this is good. Okay, you can add one more loop here, and you can just make this vertex a little up, so the finger is a little more smooth now. Okay, also in at here we get some problems, so just let me just fix that. So as you can see, we don't have a loop here. We just add some control, and now it's looking more good. Okay, this one we increase, and I think that should be a little more thinner. Yeah, this is good. Okay, one more loop at the end, and just scale it with Z0. And yeah, this is good. Also make sure to make this one a little smooth, so I'm just selecting all this loop and making it here. So from this side, or I think that's how we can make our block out. We can model this thing. So this was for the part 1, and in the next part we will be covering up the facial. We'll be modeling the nose, ear, lips, and all kind of that detail. So thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for the next episode. Okay, bye bye.